$15 billion, that's what Netflix spent on content in 2024. Your household paid for every dollar of it. And if you earn between $200,000 and $500,000 a year, you probably didn't notice. Not yet, but by Q1 2025, you will. Here's what most high-income professionals get wrong. They think Netflix costs $23 a month. It doesn't. When you layer in Disney Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, and Apple TV Plus, the real number is between $1,000 and $200 a year for an average household. Over 10 years, at the 5% annual inflation rate that BLS data confirms for video and audio services since 2020, that's $12,000 to $16,000 in streaming alone. Add cable and internet, another $1,800 to $2,000 annually, and your entertainment category explodes to $28,000 to $35,000 in opportunity cost over a decade. Money that could have funded a Roth IRA, reinforced your emergency fund, or paid down your mortgage principal. Instead, it's sitting in Netflix's balance sheet, and you didn't audit it until right now. This is the subscription creep trap, and it's hitting the $200K plus income band harder than anyone talks about because the numbers are small enough to be invisible month to month. By the end of this analysis, I'll show you exactly how Netflix's $15B content strategy forces price increases, why that hits your household specifically, and the one audit step that catches these hidden costs before you lock in your 2025 budget. Let's start with the numbers Netflix doesn't want you to see. Netflix's 10K filing for fiscal year 2024 discloses $1 billion in content expense. That's up from $13, $2 billion in 2023 and $11, $6 billion in 2022. Year-over-year growth of approximately 7%. Now, Netflix has 282.7 million subscribers globally. That means content cost per subscriber is roughly $53 per year, or about $4.42 per month. Sounds cheap, but that number is deliberately misleading, and the company knows it. Here's why Netflix doesn't distribute content cost evenly. The $15B figure includes high-priced originals, shows and films that cost $15 million to $25 million per episode, alongside licensed content that costs far less. Premium tier subscribers at $22.99 per month in the United States are subsidizing the marketing and production of shows they'll never watch, while also paying for the licensing agreements that fund competitors' shows on their platform. But the real issue is this: Netflix's content spending creates a floor for pricing. When Netflix commits $15 billion to content annually, it needs revenue to justify that spend. In 2024, Netflix raised prices on its premium tier from $19.99 to $22.99 per month, a 15% increase in 1 year. The mid-tier plan, which removed ads and added streaming to a second household member, went from $15.49 to $17.99. That's a 16% increase. These weren't market corrections. These were revenue adjustments to cover content spending. Now multiply that across your actual household. If you're paying $22.99 for Netflix, there's likely a second subscription in your home. Maybe it's Disney Plus, which costs $7.99 per month for the ad-free tier. That's $30.98 right there. Add Hulu ad-free at $14.99 and you're at $45.97. HBO Max ad-free runs $20.99. You're now at $66.96 a month, or roughly $804 per year, and you've only added 4 streaming services. Most households I'm analyzing have 5 or 6. Let me break this down with specific numbers because this is where the problem becomes visceral. Consider a household earning $300,000 annually, married, 2 kids, both parents working in tech or professional services. Subscribe to Netflix Premium, $22.99/month equals $275. 88/year Disney Plus, $7.99/month equals $95. 88/year Hulu ad-free, $14.99/month equals $179. 88/year HBO Max ad-free, $20. 99/month equals $251. 88/year Apple TV Plus, $9. 99/month equals $119. 88/year one additional Paramount Plus or Amazon Prime Video equals $120/year. Total streaming $1,043.40 per year. Add broadband and cable/internet bundle typical in this income band, $150/month equals $1,800/year. Total household entertainment spend $2,843.40 per year over 10 years at 5% annual inflation, which BLS Consumer Price Index data confirms for video services. That $2,843 grows to approximately $2,843 times 10-year inflation factor of 1,629, totaling roughly $4,633 per year by year 10. Cumulative total $35,286. Now, what's the opportunity cost of that $35,286? If it had been invested in a Roth IRA earning 7% annually, conservative S&P 500 assumption, that money becomes $60,000. If it had been applied to mortgage principal on a $800,000 loan at 6%, you'd save approximately $18,000 in interest over the remaining 15-year term. Or it could have funded 65% of 1 year at an in-state public university for 1 child. This is the delta I'm talking about, the belief gap between Netflix is $23 a month, and my entertainment category is consuming $2, $800, $3,000 a year and growing at double-digit rates. But here's where it gets worse. Netflix's board and CEO Reed Hastings have made it explicitly clear that content spending will remain a strategic priority. In earnings calls, they've defended the $15B figure as essential to staying competitive against Disney, Amazon, Apple, and Max. What they haven't said, but what their 10K filing implies, is that this content arms race has no ceiling. Disney Plus is rumored to be spending $25 billion annually by 2026. If Netflix matches that, premium tier pricing could hit $25 to $27 per month within 2 years. The IRS and tax software platforms like TurboTax and H&R Block have started flagging subscription services as a growing household expense category. Publication 17 and the consumer spending data published by the Federal Reserve show that households in the $200K plus income band have increased subscription spending by 43% since 2020. That's faster than inflation, faster than wage growth, and faster than housing cost increases in most markets. Why is this happening specifically now? Because Q4 2024 and Q1 2025 are when the next price announcements hit. Netflix's earnings calls in October and January typically precede pricing changes by 60 to 90 days. If historical patterns hold, expect another tier increase by March 2025. That's when your household finally notices the creep. The one audit step that catches this before it happens is deceptively simple. Open a spreadsheet. List every recurring monthly subscription your household pays. Include the monthly amount, the annual total, and the date you signed up. Then, and this is critical, apply a 5% annual increase to each line for the next 10 years. Run the math, total it. I promise you, the number will either shock you or confirm a suspicion you've been avoiding. For the $300K household example I used earlier, that 10-year cumulative figure was $35,286. For a $400K household with premium tiers across all 6 services, the number hits $42,000. The belief they held, these are small monthly charges, collided with the reality. This is a used car paid in subscriptions every 10 years. Netflix's strategy is not malicious, it's capital allocation. The $15B content spend is a moat. It keeps Netflix ahead of competitors, but it also locks in a pricing trajectory. And for high-income households, that trajectory is invisible until tax season or a major life event forces reconciliation. The takeaway, your entertainment subscriptions are not discretionary expenses hiding in plain sight. They're a structural cost of professional life in 2024 and 2025. The difference between ignoring them and auditing them is $25,000 to $50,000 in opportunity cost over a decade. For Q1 2025 budgeting, spend 1 hour on that spreadsheet. The number you uncover will either justify your spending or change it. Either way, you'll know. If you want the full numbers and the implementation checklist with the exact calculation steps, the deep version is in the companion book, The MSTR Bitcoin Trick, link in the description. The biggest takeaway here is that subscription creep is a feature of the current media landscape, not a bug. Netflix's $15 billion content commitment guarantees continued price increases. If you're earning $200K to $500K, you're the target customer for premium tiers. Audit your entertainment spending before January. When the next price increase hits, and it will, you'll already know the real cost. If this opened your eyes or saved you money in your 2025 budget, hit subscribe.